I'm here at the Maxon booth at Siggraph 2018. I'm here with Sekani Solomon, freelance senior Cinema 4D generalist, and you just wrapped up your presentation about your short film, Hidden. And I wanted to ask you, being an experienced production artist, you're able to apply techniques from the production world to doing things like dailies and personal projects. So if you wanted to just sort of talk about that workflow, how you apply that idea, I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of important to do both. Not necessarily dailies. I think it's more important to work on something daily than try to create something daily. But also, when you're doing that, try to learn something in the process as well. But why I advocate for longer form things is because it really gives like someone the sense of the artist, like what's in his mind, what his capabilities are. And for like recruiters, when they see someone that can make like a high level project, it begins to kind of elevate them above the rest, and you are able to stand out and then win more production jobs, which ultimately just works out for you both ways.
Yeah, I felt pretty similarly this last year. I've tried to sort of shift myself to doing like weeklies or sort of monthlies. Again, just like you said, being in Cinema 4D every day, but trying to take that to a little bit longer. I think that gives you a bigger ability to grow as an artist. You kind of, or what's your experience been like with that?
Well, again, it's not necessarily even longer form too. Like, it could be 5 seconds, it could be 10 seconds, it could be 15. But I think it's important to show like, oh, this had a little bit of thoughts in it. And I'm not saying don't just do things abstract and cool for the sake of doing it. That's cool too. But I think it's just important to do everything with a little bit of moderation. It can't just all be cool abstract renders, but it could all be cool, thoughtful stuff.
Yeah, it can be cool if you can apply some sort of concept that strings it all together. That's what makes a project like Hidden into what it is. Having that narrative-driven thing. And so I guess on the topic of Hidden, you used Redshift extensively in it. I'm a big fan of it myself, and I wanted to get your thoughts about what tools or what functions within Redshift allowed you to complete a project such as Hidden versus maybe an alternative rendering engine.
Well, for me, it's all about options. And what I love about Redshift is the ability to pinpoint noise, and I could just directly clear that up. Oh, there's noise in the shadows, I could add more samples in the shadows to clear that up. So that's one thing. Also just the ability to do light linking, to remove reflections, other objects from being visible in other objects, and also the AOV workflow, the ability to get all those AOVs that's not expensive. And now, we have crypto mats, which I didn't even have at that time. I was using RGB mats, but with crypto mats, it's even better. And, I've used Redshift since the alpha came on, and I've seen the software evolve so much, and the devs care about it so much. And it's just constant development, there's constant support. So it really seems like a platform, I want to stick with. And in production, it's just a pleasure to work with. It's super stable, especially with high levels of geo. And yeah, it's just a joy to work with.
Yeah, no, it totally is. The Redshift proxy workflow you made extensive use of in your presentation. Really big fan of it myself. It's so great for using really large geometry sets such as trees, flowers, even dynamic stuff. You went into the instancing Redshift proxies onto XP particles. It's so powerful as a combination. And I guess on that last thing, you have all of the project files up on Holdframe, which is a really awesome initiative of artists sharing project files. If you want to just explain a little bit about that, I would love to hear that as well.
Yeah, sure. Joe approached me, and he created a Holdframe, and yeah, just the ability to share scene files. Some people might be like, oh my gosh, that's like your intellectual property. But for me, your skill set is more than just your product. Like, everything is here, your ability to create. And if I could do a project where someone could pick it apart and help them in their process, I think that's awesome. And again, it's $40, which if someone wants to pay me to do that project,
oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So again, to pay $40 for that is relatively free to get that amount of scene files. It's literally 20-something shots that you're getting for cheap. And again, there's all the materials, the lights, a lot of my setups, my AOV workflows. So, and it's also like an interview and explanations. You're getting a lot of stuff.
I know for a fact that I'm going to be picking it up as soon as I get home from the show, and I guess that's a good place to wrap. Where can people find you online?
So you could find me at my website, SekaniMotionDesign.com, Vimeo.com/Sekani, which is SEKANI, or on Instagram at Sekani Solomon.
All right. Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure to talk to you and see your presentation. You know, my jaw was on the floor the entire time, so it's been awesome to meet you.
Thank you.
And that'll be it for this interview. There's going to be a whole lot more throughout the week. We're at the Maxon booth, Siggraph 2018, signing off.